The question isn't whether you understand this intellectually. Most people grasp the concept easily enough. The question is, can you actually live it? Can you maintain your center when everything around you falls apart? This is where ancient philosophy becomes practical wisdom, where understanding becomes transformation. The Stoics developed specific practices, daily exercises to train the mind like an athlete trains the body. Marcus Aurelius began each day reminding himself that he would encounter difficult people, frustrating situations, unexpected setbacks, not to become cynical, but to prepare his mind so nothing could catch him off guard. When you wake up in the morning, he wrote, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. This wasn't pessimism, it was immunization against disappointment. When you expect perfection and meet imperfection, you suffer. When you expect human fallibility and meet it, you remain calm. The Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, deliberately imagining worst-case scenarios not to fuel anxiety, but to rob future hardships of their power to overwhelm you. Seneca took this further. He periodically practiced voluntary discomfort, sleeping on hard floors, eating plain food, going without luxuries. Why? To prove to himself that he could endure their loss. The things we depend on for happiness become our chains. The less you need to feel at peace, the more unshakable your peace becomes. But detachment isn't just about hardship preparation. It's about transforming your relationship with everything, success and failure, praise and criticism, gain and loss. The Stoic recognizes these as temporary fluctuations in an external world that was never under your control to begin with. Consider how this applies to modern life. Someone criticizes your work. The untrained mind spirals. They're attacking me. This means I'm inadequate. My worth is diminished. The Stoic mind observes. Someone expressed an opinion. That's an external event, not a truth about my value. I can consider whether their feedback is useful. I can learn from it if it contains wisdom, or disregard it if it doesn't. Either way, my fundamental worth remains untouched because it was never dependent on their approval. This is the practical power of detachment. You stop being hijacked by every external event. You create space between stimulus and response, as Viktor Frankl would later describe it. In that space lies your freedom. The Stoics were particularly focused on death, not morbidly, but as the ultimate teacher of detachment. Memento mori, remember you will die. Every person you love will die or leave. Every achievement will fade. Every possession will be lost. This isn't depressing, it's clarifying. When you accept the temporary nature of everything, you stop clinging so desperately. You appreciate what you have while you have it, but you hold it with an open hand. Marcus Aurelius, ruler of the world, reminded himself constantly, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think, not to promote fear, but to promote presence, to live as if each moment matters because it might be your last, while simultaneously accepting that you don't control how many more moments you'll get. The ultimate freedom of Stoic detachment is this. When you stop needing external circumstances to be a certain way for you to be at peace, you become unconquerable. Circumstances will still change. Loss will still hurt. Disappointment will still sting. But these experiences will move through you without destroying you, like weather passing through an open field. This is what made the Stoics so formidable. They could endure exile, illness, poverty, even execution with remarkable composure. Not because they didn't feel, but because their peace was rooted in something no external force could touch. Their integrity, their character, their chosen response. In our modern world of endless distraction and manufactured outrage, this ancient wisdom becomes more relevant than ever. We're bombarded with things designed to trigger reactions, to make us feel we must respond, must control, must fix. The Stoic path offers an alternative. Observe without being consumed. Care without being controlled. Act with intention rather than reaction. The practice is lifelong. Marcus Aurelius never stopped reminding himself of these principles. But with each day of practice, you build what the Stoics called apatheia, not apathy, but freedom from destructive passions. The calm strength that comes from knowing what truly matters and what doesn't. You cannot control the world, you never could, but you can master your response to it, and in that mastery lies a freedom more complete than any amount of external control could ever provide. That is the Stoic path, not detachment from life, but detachment from the illusion that life owes you anything. And in releasing that illusion, you finally become free. Throughout history, philosophers have wrestled with the fundamental question, can we truly identify evil in another person before it's too late? The ancient Stoics, philosophers who thrived in Rome over 2,000 years ago, believed that understanding human nature was essential to protecting one's peace of mind. They lived in a world of political intrigue, betrayal, and violence where misreading someone's character could mean exile, ruin, or death. Today we examine 5 signs that someone in your life may harbor malicious intent. The first sign is excessive charm used as a weapon. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, kept detailed journals of his observations. He noted courtiers who smiled wider than necessary, who flattered without reason, who seemed to calculate every gesture. These weren't simply friendly people, they were hunters studying prey. The historian Tacitus documented numerous cases of senators and advisors who used charisma to mask corruption and cruelty. The Stoics taught a principle: observe how someone behaves when they gain nothing from kindness. True character reveals itself in moments without audience or advantage. A genuinely good person remains consistent. But those who weaponize charm show a different face when the spotlight fades: cold, calculating, indifferent to the suffering they cause. The Stoics believed all humans were part of a greater whole, bound by reason and shared experience. Seneca, the younger advisor to Emperor Nero, witnessed this firsthand. He observed his student emperor transform from a promising young ruler into a tyrant. He watched Rome burn and saw only opportunity. This wasn't strategic ruthlessness, it was profound emotional emptiness. These weren't simply harsh decisions of their era. Even contemporary observers noted these individuals as exceptional in their callousness. The Stoics distinguished between necessary difficult decisions and genuine cruelty. A leader might make hard choices. Cato, the younger, famously chose death over compromise, but these decisions tormented him, precisely because he understood their weight. Those who lack empathy make the same decisions without hesitation, without the burden of conscience. The Stoics encountered this constantly in Roman political life. The historian Suetonius recorded how emperors like Caligula and Domitian would deny obvious truths, insist their victims were mad, and gradually erode their sense of reality. This went beyond simple lying. It was psychological warfare designed to make others doubt their own minds. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about maintaining clarity of thought against such attacks. The Stoics understood that manipulators target perception because controlling what someone believes is more powerful than controlling what they do. In Stoic philosophy, manipulation represented the opposite of virtue. While wisdom sought truth, manipulation created deliberate confusion. While justice dealt fairly with others, manipulation exploited them. While courage faced reality, manipulation constructed elaborate fictions. The ancient Stoics identified specific tactics: manufactured urgency to prevent careful thought, isolation from other perspectives, incremental boundary violations to normalize abuse, and the weaponization of guilt and obligation. These methods haven't changed in 2 millennia because human psychology remains consistent.